right, so we're taking apart the Carry Cool to clean it. I think what I'm gonna need to do is pull this knob and this knob off, and then these 3 screws, and I'm assuming these 3 at the bottom, and it should come apart. All right, got the front off. Just use this super long extension and a 1/4 inch socket, and it came off. I've already lost the screws somehow. I'm sure it'll turn up, but these aren't super hard things to replace, so no big deal there. Not quite as dirty as I thought it was going to be, but yeah, definitely going to need a good cleaning in here. This is how that vent opens up, like that. Very, very simple. But yeah, now I got to get the back off, which is going to be these screws along here, and presumably there's a few on the bottom, so I'm going to do that. I've got the 2 outer shells off. As you can see, we've got someone made their home in there. Just gonna actually, I'll go throw this in the grass since it's dirt anyway. Bye. Anyway, so got this apart. It's in pretty decent shape. It's just really dirty. I'm gonna try and put a little bit of oil in the bearing. I'm not planning on it. I was able to take the blades off. These are by far the easiest fan blades I've ever removed. Such a simple design, yet that works well. Well, little clamp thing fell off. Anyway, I dripped some oil down the shaft on both sides. I believe this is, I don't think there are bearings in this motor. I'm pretty sure they're just sleeves. So that way it'll be nice and lubricated. I'm just running the fan for a bit, letting it soak in. Yeah, same thing with the back, super easy. I mean, that was like crazy easy. I got all the little pieces cleaned up. Now it's time to move on to bigger plastics, and I find it interesting. These are actually translucent plastic. They looked almost like black plastic or dark gray, but you can see through them. Interesting. All right, so this is the progress so far. Looking a lot cleaner than we were. Still a couple of things in the coils, but that's the outside. It's gonna get some stuff in it. It's just how it's gonna be. Going over the top here, trying to clean off this gunk with some alcohol. If not, I'll do it with a magic eraser. All right, got it running now. Not fully put back together, but I'm basically having it dry itself off. Actually, the compressor is running right now. Not that it really needs to be, but you can see it's getting cold, so that's good. Moving on to the outer shells and little wings, whatever would have held the accordion things. I cleaned up the front cover. All right, front and back are cleaned up, and now I'm going to work on the frames for the accordion. This little piece that holds the schematic in had to come out whenever I was cleaning it, and unfortunately it ripped a bit. So I'm using this piece of note card to stick it and kind of make a back for it again. And I think this will work pretty well. Okay, here we are all back together. I'd say it cleaned up pretty well. Like I said, the outside's rather weathered. Not sure if I'm going to paint that or just leave it as is for now. All right, so I wasn't planning on doing this soon, but I've actually installed it where the hot point was. And if you'll notice, I used the same, wooden bezel frame, whatever you want to call it, thing. Except I did add a different piece on the bottom because this unit's a little bit taller. However, it's about the same width, so these just happen to fit just about perfectly. Like I said, had to add a little bit to the bottom. Made a little special piece for it. But yeah, I mean, I don't think I've ever seen a Carry Cool installed like this. But yeah, pretty much same thing going on with the other one. I've got a layer of Polypro on the inside, on pretty much all sides. Got one there, one across the top, one across the bottom, one on the other side, and I'll give you a look of the outside. Right, so here's the outside. This one I actually did a lot more sealing on the outside, and I didn't use hardly any weather stripping. There's a little bit on the bottom from the hot point, but that's about it. And I shoved some down the side instead of using weather stripping. That actually worked a lot better than the weather stripping. But yeah, so in total there's 2 layers of this Polypro. The hot point I was able to get 3 because I was able to put 2 in the where the louvers would go. This had thinner louvers on it, so it's not exactly the same. My plan for the future is to put like a piece of acrylic, cut for this, and paint it whites, you know, to match, so it goes over the sides here, because one of the problems I was having is that this foil, just from being in the elements, because it's not really designed to be in the elements, eventually starts to fall off. So I'd need to do that. I'm thinking I'd probably like go in at this lip or something, I don't know. Again, it would be something that would be temporary, so I could pull it off if I ever needed to. That's all for now. Thank you for watching.